Hello, good morning children. Today I am going to explain about the Delhi Sultans. Okay, class 7 history, third chapter, the Delhi Sultans. In the previous video we have explained and discussed about the administration of these Delhi Sultans, how these Khaljis and Tughlaqs they have appointed the slaves in high positions, and the how chronicles they have criticized their acts, the Muhammad Tughlaq's act, as he appointed two barbers, two gardeners, one cook, and some others as in high positions. Ghiyazuddin Barani, what he said that he has not that much capable power in administration, like that he said. Sultans Ziauddin Barani, a mid 14th century chronicler, reported their appointments as a sign of Sultan's loss of political judgment and in his incapacity to rule, like that. So, and afterwards, whatever the successors they have come, they in their administration team they have appointed some slaves, and in higher positions they have appointed nobles, like that they managed. And afterwards some conflicts arose, and managing those things it became little difficult, like that it happened. Now what happened next? Now let's see in this video. It is important to remember that large parts of the subcontinent remained outside the control of the Delhi Sultan. So, overall view, we can say that large part of the Sultanate was out of the control of the Delhi Sultans. That means they were unable to control these much vast kingdoms. It was difficult to control distant provinces like Bengal from Delhi, and soon after annexing southern India, the entire region became independent. So, after expeditions into South India also, it became vast empire, and the entire region became independent. Even in the Gangetic plain, there were forested areas that Sultanate forces could not penetrate. So, in this there are so many forested areas that these Sultan's army could not enter into that. Local chieftains established their rule in these regions. So, in those areas, those local chieftains, those who were the heads in those areas, they only obtained rule, control those regions. Sometimes, rulers like Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq could force their control in these areas, but only for a short duration. So, these who Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq, they have attacked those forested areas, but they got control for a short period only. Afterwards, again, if the king was busy in the remaining part of the day, there means or some problems arose, and afterwards again those local chieftains obtained power. So here Sultan's power was very in short time. Next, the Mongols under Genghis Khan invaded Transoxiana in northeast Iran in 1219, and the Delhi Sultan faced their onslaught soon after. So, by 1219, what it happened? Mongols came. By 1219, Mongols from Afghanistan, they started to invade India, the Sultanate, Delhi Sultanate. Okay. At what time? By 1219. Mongol attacks on the Delhi Sultanate increased during the reign of Alauddin Khalji and in the early years of Muhammad Tughlaq's rule. So, during Alauddin Khalji, these invasions from Mongols, it became very often, and it continued till Muhammad Tughlaq's rule also. This forced the two rulers to mobilize a large standing army in Delhi, which posed a huge administrative challenges. So, when these invasions became more and more, what they have done? They have focused on military power. They have to stand up a strong military power in their kingdoms. Let us see how the two sultans dealt with this. Here they have given how Alauddin Khalji maintained his kingdom, and Muhammad Tughlaq, this military force, how they have managed. They have given in two tables, children. I will read out now. Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq. Just briefly I will say here, right here. Alauddin. Okay, this is Alauddin, and here Second side, Muhammad Khalji. Alauddin Khalji. Here, this side, Muhammad Tughlaq. Muhammad Tughlaq. So, how they have, in both sides, how they have organized the military power, we will see. First one is, Delhi was attacked twice in 1219 to 1300, 1302. This means here, two times attacks happened. Two times. When they were 1219 to 1300 and again 1302, 1303. As a defensive measure, Alauddin Khalji raised a large standing army. So, two times attack happened. That's why he has raised a large standing army. Raised an army. A large standing army. Okay, next. Alauddin constructed a new garrison town named Siri for his soldiers. So, he constructed garrison town Siri. Garrison town Siri. What was the name of the garrison town? Siri. Why this garrison town? For the use of soldiers. For soldiers. Okay, next. The soldiers had to be fed. This was done through the produce collected as tax from lands between the Ganga and Yamuna. Tax was fixed at 50% of the peasants' yield. I have already explained during the taxes time. So, the soldiers were fed. By what money? By which money? 50% of crop tax. Okay, 50% of crop tax. Next. The soldiers had to be paid. Alauddin chose to pay his soldiers' salaries in cash rather than iktas. So, he has given cash money. Cash salary. We can say cash salary, not of iktas. That means giving some land and collecting taxes on that. Instead of that, he has given cash amount. That means coins only. Okay. The soldiers would buy their supplies from merchants in Delhi, and it was thus feared that merchants would raise their prices. To stop this, Alauddin controlled the prices of goods in Delhi. So, on the fifth measurement, what he has done, he has controlled the prices in market. Control the prices. That means cost of the goods. Prices in the market. Prices in the market. Next. Prices were carefully surveyed by officers, and merchants who did not sell at the prescribed rates were punished. So, he has done the surveys also and given punishment. Surveys and given punishment. Given punishment to those who sell at high rates. Sells at high rates. Okay, sells at high rates. Alauddin's administrative measures were quite successful, and chroniclers praised his reign. So, at last, chroniclers admired his administration. That means all of them were very happy. He has taken all the measures to rule the country successfully. So, one more time I will revise these points, children. See, by Alauddin Khalji, how was his administration? During his time, two times these Mongols invaded. During the time 1219 to 1300 and 1302 to 1303. So, as there were happened two times attack, he has raised a large standing army. That means he has given importance to army. Then, for the soldiers, he has constructed a garrison town named Siri. And soldiers were fed. He has taken care of those soldiers in a good manner. And he has given salary for the maintenance of the soldiers. He has collected revenues from the peasants as 50% as crop tax. Okay. Next, and he has given salaries in a cash form. Okay, and then he has controlled so that soldiers can buy the things. That's why what he has done, he has controlled the prices in the market. And then if any merchant is selling the goods at high rates, means for them he has appointed some accountants, counselors or administrators to do surveys. Officers he has appointed, and at last his administration was admired by the chroniclers and quite and praised. Administrative measures were quite successful, and chroniclers praised his region for its cheap prices and efficient supplies of goods in the market. He successfully withstood the threat of Mongol invasion. So, in this way, he successfully withstood the threat of the Mongols. That means he was a capable ruler. He proved himself. Then, what about this Muhammad Tughlaq? Let's see. Muhammad Tughlaq. The Sultanate was attacked in the early years of Muhammad Tughlaq's reign. The Mongol army was defeated. Muhammad Tughlaq was confident about the strength of his army and his resources to plan an attack on Transoxiana. He therefore raised a large standing army. So, here he also defeated Mongol army. Mongol army was defeated. Next, he also raised a large army, a large standing army. So, here he also given importance to army. Next, rather than constructing a new garrison town, the oldest of the 4 cities of Delhi was emptied of its residents and the soldiers garrisoned there. So, what he has done? Not at all. He did not construct new town, but he has emptied. He has emptied the old cities, old 4 cities, and given to soldiers. Okay, he has emptied the old 4 cities in Delhi and he has given to soldiers. Here, Alauddin Khalji given a special. He has constructed a new garrison town for them named Siri. Next, okay, anyway, both of them arranged a place for them. Next, produce from the same area was collected as tax to feed the army. But to meet the expense of maintaining such a large number of soldiers, the Sultan levied additional taxes. This coincided with famine in the area. So, here he has collected only 50% of crop tax. But he had levied, here Muhammad Tughlaq levied additional taxes from the peasants. So, this led to a famine in that area. That means whatever they cultivated, whatever they got the crop, everything he has taken. Okay. Only here Alauddin Khalji for military purpose he has taken only 50%. The remaining 50% he has left for the peasants. But here he has levied additional taxes and let a famine happen. That means the peasants were unable to get even a penny. They don't have money. Next, Muhammad Tughlaq also paid his soldiers cash salaries, but instead of controlling prices, he used a token currency. Okay, he also paid salaries, but introduced token currency. He introduced token currency. Okay, token currency. Somewhat like present day paper currency, but made out of cheap metals. But this token currency was made out of cheap metal. Okay, made out of cheap metals. Not gold and silver. People in the 14th century did not trust these coins. They were very smart. They saved their gold and silver coins and paid all their taxes to the state with this token currency. This cheap currency could also be counterfeited easily. So, what the people did, then the people became and they also minted the currency. That means here people cheated their king by minting the currency. Counterfeited means people also minted the made the duplicate currency and they saved their gold and silver coins. This what happened here. It's a great failure in his kingdom. Next, Muhammad Tughlaq's administrative measures were a failure. His campaign into Kashmir was a disaster. He then gave up his plans to invade Transaxonia and disbanded his large army. Meanwhile, his administrative measures created complications. The shifting of people to Daulatabad was resented. The rising of taxes and famine in the Ganga-Yamuna belt led to widespread rebellion. And finally, the token currency had to be recalled. So, here as Alauddin Khalji proved himself a good ruler, but here Muhammad Tughlaq, all his actions made him a mad king, because all the administrative measures got failed, and at the same time by collecting all the crop there famine occurred, people were unhappy, and at the same time his campaign to Kashmir got failed, and all over the kingdom rebellion happened. So he proved himself as a mad king. So this is the difference between Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq. Hope you understood, children. Okay, next. In this list of Muhammad Tughlaq's failures, we sometimes forget that for the first time in the history of the Sultanate, a Delhi Sultan planned a campaign to capture Mongol territory. Of course, he got failed in his administrative, but he was the first person to invade Mongol territory. But that means out of the country, from our India country, he has gone out and he want to capture that Mongol territory. Unlike Alauddin's defensive measures, Muhammad Tughlaq's measures were conceived as a part of military offensive against the Mongols. Okay, his defensive measures, he has given more importance to these soldiers. He has arranged everything for the soldiers, but here in that he lost the people's belief. Next, the Sultanate in the 15th and 16th centuries. Take a look at table 1 again. You will notice that after the Tughlaqs, the Sayyid and Lodi dynasties at last maybe. Okay. In the table 1, you know that? Okay. So, here in this table at last, see, after Rajputs, early Turkish, Khaljis and Tughlaqs, after them Sayyid and Lodi dynasties, they ruled the Delhi Sultanate. Now, about them, here they are saying, the Sayyid and Lodi dynasties ruled from Delhi and Agra until 1526. Until 1526. That means after this Muhammad Tughlaq, these Sayyid and Lodi dynasties, they have ruled up to 1526. Who? Sayyid and Lodi dynasties. Okay, Sayyid and Lodi dynasties. By then, Jaunpur, Bengal, Malwa, Gujarat, Rajasthan and the entire South India had independent rulers who established flourishing states and prosperous capitals. So, by the time, in different places, local rulers were there and they have established their kingdoms and flourishing states and prosperous capitals. That means good administrative measures were there with the capable kings. This was also the period which saw the emergence of new ruling groups like the Afghans and the Rajputs. Some of the states established in this period were small but powerful and extremely well administered. Of course, those kingdoms were small, not like Delhi Sultanate of the vast kingdom, but they were small. Then also they were capable of doing administration. Sher Shah Sur started his career as the manager of a small territory for his uncle in Bihar and eventually challenged and defeated the Mughal Emperor Humayun. So here one king they have emphasized here. Who was that person? Sher Shah Suri. First of all, he worked as a manager for his uncle. Okay, but he has made a military, an army, and with the help of that army, he went and fought a war with Humayun and defeated the Mughal Emperor Humayun. Okay, Sher Shah captured Delhi and established his own dynasty. So he defeated Mughal kingdom, Mughal Emperor Humayun. Okay. Although the Suri dynasty ruled for only 15 years, it introduced an administration that borrowed elements from Alauddin Khalji and made them more efficient. But of course, he has ruled the Delhi Sultanate, Sher Shah Suri, for 15 years. Sher Shah Suri. Whom he defeated? He defeated Humayun, the Mughal king, Mughal emperor. How much time he has ruled Delhi? 15 years. 15 years he has ruled Delhi. During his administration, he has adopted the measurements taken, the measures of Alauddin Khalji. Okay, but he has implemented those measurements. What the administrative measures followed by Alauddin Khalji, taken by Khalji, Sher Shah Suri implemented them. Sher Shah's administration became the model followed by the great emperor Akbar when he consolidated the Mughal empire. So, from Sher Shah Suri, again Humayun's son Akbar captured Delhi and he adapted his Sher Shah Suri's administrative measurements. Who adapted? Akbar, the Mughal empire. Okay, Mughal king Akbar empire. So, this is what the lesson, the Delhi Sultans. Okay, with this only this lesson was completed, children. I hope you understood. Thank you. Have a nice day.